My name is Blue New Stifter. This story is called Ghosts. There's a ghost in your house. There has been since you moved in. You don't call the house haunted. It isn't scary. The ghost is quiet and kind. They seem to care about you. You bought magnets for the fridge, sets of letters, bright and colorful and friendly. The ghost has started using them to talk to you. You go downstairs one morning, reach to open the door and pull out some juice. Don't forget, you have a doctor appointment at 2, say the fridge magnets. Then they wiggle and slide around. Also, you're almost out of ice cream. You should pick some up today. The next morning, you were sleeping poorly, so I turned down the temperature and I started your coffee. And an afternoon trip to the fridge. Don't forget to have some water today, and don't work so late this evening. After a Tinder date leaves. I don't like him. He kept interrupting you, and when you left the room, he made a mean face at the cat. After several stressful days in politics, the fridge says, please delete Twitter off your phone. It's just making you sad. Then, here, I started a cartoon and brought a fuzzy blanket down. Sorry I scared you with the loud thump yesterday, the ghost apologizes once. I was trying to alphabetize your books, and I dropped one. And then one morning, the fridge just says, hey. The letters then move around slowly, hesitantly. I saw you looking at dresses online and crying last night. Another slow rearrangement. I think you would be pretty in the blue one. It's okay. When the dress arrives, you panic and leave it in the package for several days. Eventually, the package gets moved to the top of your dresser, still sealed. The cat was chewing on it, says the ghost. Take your time. The night you eventually try it on, you only manage to look in the mirror for maybe 30 seconds before sobbing and pulling the dress back off, throwing it deep into a closet. You don't look at the fridge, you just go straight to bed. The next morning, the dress is on a hanger in the closet, smoothed out. It isn't prominent, just cared for. I thought you looked nice. I'm sorry it hurts. A couple days of moping and anxiety later, the fridge says, I noticed you haven't seen your therapist lately. Maybe that would help. Your therapist books you for a couple weeks out. You're angry a lot. You throw the fridge magnets into a box. You want to be left alone. You don't hear from the ghost. The therapist appointment helps. You don't solve anything, but it gives you a place to cry and be listened to. You put the magnets up before bed. The next morning they say, I'm sorry you're hurting. I didn't mean to make you mad. You lean against the kitchen counter and quietly say you weren't mad at them, just at the world and at yourself. Why? Because the world is scary and hard. Why yourself? Because you want things that are impossible. The magnets don't move for a minute. Then, no. No. Not impossible. Just hard. You start to feel angry again. You breathe like your therapist reminded you about. You change the subject. You ask where the ghost went. You seemed to want space. You did, or at least you thought you did. It kind of ended up just making it hurt more. I worried it might, but didn't want to force it. Thanks, you say. After a moment you ask where the ghost went. I can't leave the house. I went to the attic. The attic? You don't go there. I didn't want to spy. What do I do? You ask quietly. I can't tell you. What would you do then? I don't know. It's not the same. I'm not like you. Like me how? Alive? But you were once. I guess. I don't remember. How long have you been here? I don't know. Time works weird like this. Why are you here? You ask. Right now? Because I care. I'm scared, you say after a long silence. Of what? That if I change, things will be hard, you whisper. The letters hesitate for a moment, then they slowly slide into place. It seems like things are already hard. You begin to cry again. You know what makes me sad? The fridge spells out once you finished crying. What? You ask. I don't know who I am. I don't know anything about myself. That is sad, you agree. I feel things sometimes, but it isn't the same. The letters start rearranging faster as the ghost keeps needing letters that are already in use. I don't want things. I don't have a sense of me. I don't know what is like me or not like me. I don't have a style or a personality or story to tell about myself. I'm not. The letters stop. Not coherent? You ask quietly. Yes. You feel a ball of anxiety in your gut. It's been there for months. It feels like it is pulsing there, like a second heartbeat. I know the feeling, you say quietly. It's not a good feeling. No, it's not. Another long silence. I have to be this way. You don't. You don't respond. Tears are threatening again, and you can't bring yourself to speak. There's another long silence. You wonder if the ghost has left. Then you hear a soft creak upstairs, and then a few seconds later, a white hanger holding a blue dress floats into the kitchen, hooking onto the refrigerator door to rest. The letters rearrange again. You don't have to be a ghost. It's a few minutes later. You went into the washroom to change. The ghost told you when you first started speaking to them that they stayed out of those rooms, that they were private. You're in the kitchen, in the blue dress. You feel tall and misshapen and ridiculous. And the ball inside your stomach hurts just a little bit less. You ask how you look. Good. Good, you snort. You look like a cried out, awkward mess. You look alive. It's a week later. You just got back from therapy again. The tea kettle has the low rumble that means it will begin whistling at any moment. A mug with a bag of something flowery sits nearby. Welcome home, the magnets say. You're being really nice, you reply. You've had a hard week. You snort quietly. Did therapy help? Some, you say. They gave you some resources, at least. I'm proud of you. Thanks, you say quietly. The kettle begins to whistle. It's a month later. You left out a list of names you got from some baby name websites. Every morning the fridge greets you with a good morning and one of the names from the list so you can see how it feels. After about 3 weeks, you came downstairs, saw the fridge, and felt a pang in your chest. Do that one again, you whispered. Every morning since then, the name hasn't changed. It feels weird, but good. Life is scarier than it was a few months ago. You still don't know where you're going or what you're doing. You talk to the ghost late into the night sometimes, fears and hopes and anxieties just pouring out of you until you're empty. The ghost is a good listener. Life can be hard. Not everyone understands as you share your new name, as your wardrobe changes, as your priorities and your pronouns shift. Some old friends leave. A lot of new friends appear. The ghost doesn't leave. As the months go on, the hard things feel less hard. They're still difficult, But you find that facing obstacles isn't as scary when you have a sense of who you are. And sometimes you think that it's kind of nice to know you've done things that are scary and made it through. You and the ghost have a routine now. When you get dressed and get prepped for the day, you always stop in the kitchen. You do a slow turn, a complete rotation, arms spread wide. How do I look? You ask the room. You look alive, the ghost always replies. Day by day, you realize that you feel it too. It's good to be alive.